Hello, Simplifiers. How are y'all doing? I hope you're doing really well. Let me switch that because that light bulb is right there. Let me turn this way because that light bulb in the other room, I forgot to turn it off. I just want to say hi. I've got my Rudolph shirt. I'd showed this to you guys. This is my brand new sweatshirt. Y'all, this makes me so hot. So I have on, I'll show you, I've got Hello Kitty on under. Isn't she cute? I never really get to wear her that much because she's short sleeves, but right now I would like to rip this shirt off because I'm so hot. But it's not that cold. It's 53, but it's really windy and it's kind of a biting cold. So when you're outside, you need a sweatshirt. When you're inside, you're kind of like, I'm hot. But let me show you the back because the back is cuter. I don't know if you can see the whole way, but it's so cute. I love the back. I think you can see most of it. It says, I think it says, "Oh dear, Christmas is here." It's so cute. Anyway, Boo making an appearance. He actually eats up here. It's one reason he's always up here. I was going to show you guys, I got a few things from Dollar Tree, but I just want to say hi, happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to post something so you guys would have something to watch on or around Thanksgiving if you had a few minutes, if you didn't have family, because I don't know, some of you may spend a lot of time with family. I know Jenny is in Canada. I think they've already had Thanksgiving, so I don't think Jenny's going to be doing anything probably too special tomorrow. Or today, maybe not, who knows. But anyway, tomorrow's the American Thanksgiving. So I went to Dollar Tree. I picked up a couple more cans of the Libby's, because Libby is a name brand. Mandarin oranges. I like the Dole ones really well at Walmart, but I know they're more expensive. So these are still $1.25, I think. Wait a minute. I think these went up to $1.50. Yeah. I think these were $1.50, and I got the tidbits. They had all different sizes, and so this can was actually smaller than some of the pineapple. They had some larger pineapple, but I actually needed a smaller can. I actually need about half the size, but I don't care. I'm just going to throw it into I'm making a fruit salad, a cranberry salad that's kind of like a Jell-O salad with cranberries, real cranberries, and some fruit. So I'm going to throw that in. And then I got another one of these. This is the third or fourth one I picked up. I hardly ever run across this. This smells really good. The scent does not last. And it does say it's sparkling cider and honey body lotion. It's limited edition. It's so pretty. I love that. Plaid. So I hardly ever run across it, and I really like it, even though the scent doesn't last that long, but I don't care because I don't love strong scents. So this is perfect for me. If it lasted a little longer, that'd be great, but it's not overpowering. And then I'd never seen this one. It's the sparkling cashmere. So I thought I would try it, and none of these are not sealed, so you can actually sniff them in the store. Let me just put a little on. I couldn't really smell that much. I don't know what this smells like. Okay, that actually smells like some kind of perfume. It's probably going to be good. It doesn't last that long because it's kind of a strong perfume smell, but I like it. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that smells pretty good. So I got two of those. Sparkling cashmere. They're so pretty. I just love the plaid. It's so pretty. And I know they have the other stuff that goes with it. I'm sure they have body wash. I've never seen it. I think they might even have something in a round package like this. It's maybe it might be a body butter. They have that for different scents, but they don't have it for these new ones. So at least I've never seen it. So I don't know if it's just selling out or they're never putting it out, or I don't know, but I rarely see these lotions and I never see the other. I think there might be bath bombs. I've never seen that. Don't hold me to that because I'm not sure exactly what else they have, but I feel like they have bath bombs. Anyway, I got two more of these. This one I told you guys about that I really was liking it. It's not as good. It says it's 24-hour moisturizing. It's not as good as gosh, what was that brand I told y'all that I thought was really good? Gold Bond. It's not as good as Gold Bond, but I really like it, and I'm using it a lot. It sounds like the cats are fighting outside. Having a little argument outside. So I got two of those. So that's the creamy cashmere is what it's called. That, I figured out this smells like cake or cake icing or something to me. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it really smells good. So anyway, I think that's all I got there. I wasn't in there long. I have to take Sunshine to the vet. So I have not told her, because if I tell her, zoom, she will under this chair. So I had mentioned, I think I mentioned I am in HELL because I went to the VET with someone. Who did I take? I just took somebody. Who did I just take? Mila. Mila was having trouble with her eye. And while I was there, he said, I was so glad I was there because he said, I'm going to do something I haven't done in 30, 40, 50 years. Like, I think it was like, seriously, like 50 years. I'm going to take a 3-week vacation from December 14th through somewhere around January 5th. And I was like, oh no, we don't have an emergency. And then he said, Lisa wants me to quit. I'm going down to 1 to 2 days. And I was like, oh. I'll never be able to get another appointment. I don't think I'm ever going to get another appointment. So I was like, okay, I think I better get in right now. So I was able to make an appointment. My nose is itching. The end of my nose is itching. Does that mean you're lying? I'm not lying. This is what's happening. So I was able to get her in this week, and I knew I wasn't going to be that busy today. I've done most of my Thanksgiving prep. My sister, interestingly enough, my sister is doing most of it. I'm just doing the same thing I always do, and she's got a lot of kids, she has 3 kids. One can't even come, but she's making a slew of food and bringing it. So now my whole face is itching. What is happening? I hate when people are touching their face during a video. It drives me nuts because I'm just like, stop touching your face. It makes me crazy. And then here I am touching my nose. Sorry. At least my hands are clean. I just washed them right before I put the lotion on. Anyway, I decided I better get her in there and have her. I'm just gonna get him to run a CBC. I'm not gonna get all the things done because it hasn't been that long since she's been there. So I'm just gonna do CBC. Just check those her platelets, and the rest, and see how bad the anemia is. She's always anemic, but I just want to make sure she's on the right track and she's doing okay before he takes his 3-week vacation and then goes down to 1 to 2 days a week. And then I'm wondering, because he does a lot of surgeries, I'm thinking, now when you say 1 to 2 days a week, does that mean you're doing surgeries on these days? Because he does surgeries on half days. He used to do the whole day with surgery, but he's doing 2 surgery days a week right now. So it's like, are you still going to do 2 surgery days? Is that what you're planning on doing? So you're only going to have half a day for appointments? Is that how this is going to? Because he does tons of surgeries. I would have a hard time believing he's not going to do surgeries. I would really be shocked that he's not going to do surgeries. So we'll see. We'll see. But if he's doing surgeries half a day. Okay, so I have to leave in just a minute. She's still unaware. She's sitting in there. She is real smart, y'all. And if she thinks I'm up to something, Zoom gone under, there's a chair right here, under the chair. Okay, so the other thing, I just want to talk about that for the first time, I think, ever, because I'd mentioned, I'm not trying to throw my mother under a bus, not by any stretch of the imagination. I loved my mother very much, but she stressed me out so bad on holidays because I mentioned her expectations. I can put my hand all the way up here. Her expectations were up here by the ceiling, and then I could deliver maybe here. And it wasn't just that I could only deliver there. No one in the family could deliver way up here. We could all maybe get to here if we were lucky. So she just, that's just the way she was. And so holidays, now as she got older, it wasn't as bad. I will say that. It was not as bad. But it still wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. Okay, it still was not the best. But when I was a kid, it was real bad. It was just bad mood. We would be making pictures at Easter, and she'd be mad. Imagine trying to make pictures with a mad mom. It's just, But I will say that I learned how to, over the years, I learned how to get her out of a bad mood. So whatever it was about my dad that irritated her so badly, he irritates me sometimes. And I find myself losing my temper with him sometimes, and I feel very guilty because I know what he's had to listen to is the entire time he was married to her, because he couldn't do anything right. When I say he couldn't do anything right, he couldn't do anything right, okay? Imagine being in a marriage like that. You can't do anything. Not one thing can you do right. And he's a great person. He's just a great person. Is he perfect? No. No. Are any of us perfect? Again, no. None of us are perfect, right? But just, just think about that and imagine that. So then when I'm getting frustrated and upset and angry, and then I'm thinking, you need to just put this aside and stop being this way, because he's had to listen to this your entire life, your entire life. He's heard much worse than what I'm saying. So anyway, he would make my mom really mad, and I don't know why. I do not understand why, because like I said, he's a really nice person. So he would make her really mad, and then I would get to her house on Wednesday when he was going to work. This is later in life even. I would get to her house on Wednesday because I would sort of keep an eye on her and take care of her while he was at work, because she needed somebody there and he was gone all day. So I would, come in after he left. She'd already be in the mood. And then it would take me a while to get her in a good mood. And then by the time I left, and hopefully when he got home, she was in a better mood. So, but it could take hours to get her from not a good mood to a better mood to at least smiling, maybe laughing. And she used to be a lot of fun. It was, I would say, the last 5 years as she was going downhill, she wasn't smiling or laughing that much. It's really sad because, and maybe it's the last 3 years. I'm terrible with time, but maybe it was the last 3 years, maybe, but it felt like it was a lifetime, right? It felt like it was the last 5 years. But she just wasn't, when you're on a walker, life is really hard. Now, my dad takes it pretty well because he's on a walker, but life is hard. When you're having to drag a walker everywhere you're going, it makes it difficult. That you're just not physically able to get around without it. It makes it really hard. So, I've watched both of them struggle with a walker, and I'm just like, I don't want that. I'm sure I'll end up the same way, but I don't want any part of it. I'm going to keep my balance as long as I keep it, because I don't want any part of a walker, because I just watch them going downhill and dragging a walker around and just frustrating. And anyway, I just want to encourage you, if you're dealing with difficult family members this Thanksgiving, that I used to work with a lady. I cleaned for a lady for years and years, and if I complained about anything, her answer was, "This too shall pass." And that used to drive me nuts. I hated that phrase. This too shall pass. I'd be like, this too shall pass. This. But you know what? She was right. She was right. Sometimes it might take 15 years for it to pass, but it's going to pass. Either you're going to pass away, or the other person, or something's going to stop, or whatever. And my mother-in-law would come to visit, and she would just be completely obnoxious while she was here. And she really, I felt like the whole time that we've been married that she wanted us to not be married. She wanted to separate us. She wanted to find a way to break us up. Because not that there's anything wrong with either one of us, just she was an unhappy person. And so I would complain to my client about, oh, my mother-in-law's here, and, I'm just not enjoying this at all, and I'm just ready for her to go home. And she would always say, "This too shall pass." And I was just like, stop saying that. But guess what? She was right. It did pass. It did pass. So, same thing with my mom, everything very difficult, dealing with a difficult person, dealing with somebody that's in a bad mood a lot and hard to deal with and difficult, and not seeing the bright side. Sometimes you need to see the bright side of things. You don't need to see the bad, she's over here seeing the bad side of everything, and I'm over here trying to see the bright side in things. And that's hard. When you're trying to be happy and carefree and joyful, and you've got someone over here dragging you down. But guess what? It passed, it did pass. It's taken a long, 56 years of my life for it to pass, but she's not here anymore. And I'm assuming she's in heaven with Jesus, and she's not negative anymore. I'm assuming she's not negative anymore. I'm hoping the negativity is ended, because she had a lot of it. And it's a sad life. It's a sad life to live in that negative space. She was 90 for 90 years living in this negative space. It's hard to imagine, because I try not to dwell there or stay there or live there. Of course I have bad days, but I try not to dwell in it or stay in it or live in it. So anyway, I gotta run because I gotta get who in the vehicle. And I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Be sure and say a prayer if you're a praying person. We have a member who, not a member, but she watches our channel. I believe her name is Carol. She is having some personal problems she's mentioned in comments. And so if you'll just pray for her, I know she would be happy to know that people are praying for her. All right, love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. I'll see you next time. Bye.